Good evening, and we welcome you to Panther Stadium for another edition of high school football on the ISC Sports Network. Along with Joe Polizzi and the rest of our fantastic crew, I'm John Herrick with you on a beautiful Friday evening in Indianapolis. Our broadcast tonight brought to you in part by the Fountain Room, voted one of America's 50 most beautiful restaurants. Also brought to you in part by the Gridiron Foundation, growth, development, purpose. Find out more at gridiron.com. The IndyCard Exchange. Make money off of your collection and find out how at indycardexchange.com. By LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing and drains. By Shearer Brothers Realty, local real estate experts serving the neighborhoods around North Central and throughout Washington Township. And by Trine University. Be supported. Become thunderous. Trine.edu. Well, Joe, we got two 1-0 teams ready to duke it out. North Central breaking a 32-game losing streak last week, and Hamilton Southeastern with a win over Carroll. Both teams, though, looking to find improvements.
Well, John, you are absolutely right. You can't ask for a better night. This is just fantastic here, and I can't imagine that they've had more of a buzz of enthusiasm around North Central football in quite some time. Absolutely going to be a great matchup and a real challenge for the Panthers, and I'm so excited about being a part of it.
When we come back, we will have starting lineups, keys to victory, and the starting lineups, kickoff, and much more coming your way from Panther Stadium on the ISC Sports Network.
Countdown 3, 2, 1.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first started learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and the Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
1, 2, 3,
Well, Hamilton Southeastern won the toss. They deferred, so North Central is getting the ball first as Luke Marchione kicks it off into the end zone for a touchback, so North Central gets the football first. Joe, your keys to victory tonight for both teams.
Well, it's going to be a game of momentum. We have an opportunity on both sides to really take charge of the momentum of the football game, and whoever can sustain it the longest is certainly going to be a big key. Ball control. IHSAA is known to be able to control that football and run the clock. North Central, on the other hand, has the last key, shown the ability to strike quick with the big play. So to me, those are the big keys: momentum, ball control, and big plays.
That was Dryden Moore coming over to make the tackle. And a tackle for loss early on. North Central was able to run the football very well last week. Their quarterback, Chase Grove, led the way through a really impressive touchdown pass early on in that game. Bryson Stallings, the tight end, looked like he was limping off the field a little bit as he comes off. That was a loss of 4 on that previous play. So not an ideal situation for North Central to be in as they lose 4, and it's second down and 14 for Chase Grove and company. He takes the snap. Grove fires it out to the right side, and it's incomplete. So right away, Hamilton Southeastern, when they play hard on defense like they did last week, it usually translates to good things. They beat Carroll 14-7, and right away they have had a tackle for loss and forced an incompletion.
And you know, they said as we've heard, they came in angry, not very happy with their performance last week. And the first two plays are showing that there's a little bit of an edge out there in the guys in the white jerseys.
3rd down and 14. A 3rd and long situation that North Central was not in too often. Demetrius Averett to the right of Chase Grove. Grove fires, has a man though, open, and the catch is made, and what a job there by Javen Brooks, who made a few grabs last week, and he got himself wide open for the big gain and the 1st down for the Panthers.
A great example of the value of the big play. It was a busted coverage. Nobody played that deep outside 3rd. Chase did a beautiful job of spotting it and making the play, and these are the keys that start to spark the momentum that takes to win a football game of this level.
Kyle Jenkins was on the coverage for Hamilton Southeastern, but he got over there too late. And North Central with the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 40. That was a 24-yard pickup from Grove to Brooks. And Brooks goes wide to the right here. Averett, the running back. And Averett gets the carry. And doesn't get much that time, a few yards. First man there for Hamilton Southeastern was Xavier Anderson, a 5'9", 255-pound defensive lineman.
Well, I had a chance during the week to watch this line play from North Central, and they are the real thing. Do a super job of coaching them. Not many busted assignments, just a super job of staying low and moving their feet and playing the game up front. And that's going to be a big key in a game like this, with the Royals always being very, very physical.
Carroll Fort Wayne was who Hamilton Southeastern beat last week, and North Central with a triumph over Brebeuf, 35-13. Pitch off on the end around. Averett trying to cut loose. There was nowhere to go. Hamilton Southeastern had the initial wave, and then they came flying in after that. And that time it was Andrew Babb making the tackle for the Royals, and it's 3rd down. Of course, you have to wait and see. Yeah, there is a flag down, so this might be a backup. Yep. And our first penalty of the night for either team, and it's on North Central, and that was an emphasis that both coaches made. Head coach Michael Kelly for HSC, and then Colin Kofer for North Central. They both talked about that during the week, stopping the penalties, minimizing the mistakes. And right after North Central was moving the ball, that's exactly what you don't want if you're the Panthers.
Well, those are just it just saps the momentum from you, that big 3rd down conversion, and then you come out and you try a little to get outside on the defense. The holding call certainly puts you in a hole. Very, very tough to recover from this 1st and forever situation, 2nd and forever situation.
It would have been 3rd down, though, so at least the good thing for North Central is it is a long yardage spot, but it's 2nd and 17 instead of 3rd and long, so at least they got a couple of downs to try to make things up. Jawan Waddell goes out wide to the left. Waddell was a factor in last week's game, had a couple nice catches. Grove fires across the middle, catch is made, getting some of that penalty yardage back. And well done there by Antonio Woodson, finding the soft spot in the zone to the 44-yard line. That's a gain of 11.
Well, you talked about HSC having so much success last week by getting to the quarterback. And I'm loving the poise that Chase is showing here today. They came at him at that time on that 2nd and long situation. He just stayed nice and cool, read the progression, and hit the open man. Beautiful job for a 10th grader.
And it's 3rd down and about 7 after that. So it is not the most ideal situation. Averett goes in motion. Grove takes the snap, lost the ball, picks it back up, fires down the field, and it's incomplete. So the snap is, a lot of coaches will tell you, the most important part of the offense. If you don't get that down, that can be a problem, and that threw off the whole rhythm of the play. 4th down, and the Panthers have to punt.
Well, once again, he showed great poise just picking that up and getting rid of it, because it could have been a huge, spark of momentum for the Royals. But get a good putt off and make them work the distance of the field, and they're in good shape.
Good job defensively by Zachary Christopherson. He was in on one of the tackles on that drive and then was on defense and on to punt it away. And before that can even happen, we have a whistle.
Did he get? Yes, he did. He went down on a knee to field that ball.
Oh, that is unusual. You don't normally see that. So, ouch. That's a big penalty there for North Central. Punter accidentally kneeing the ball at the 32-yard line. So HSE gets to take over at the North Central 32 with 8:27 to go. And we get our first look at Terry Walker III, who is a Duke commit. He's supposed to go to Duke next year. He is the starting quarterback for Hamilton Southeastern. He takes the snap and he hands this one off to Carter Reed, and Reed trying to turn the corner and immediately gets into the red zone. A nice gain for the Royals on first down.
Well, they ran that ball into the sideline, and the Panthers were in a cover 3. They had no real support to that short side. Good call by the offense. They got to get that short away by the Panther defense. Last week they were very, very sound throughout, and I'm sure they'll make the right adjustments.
Jamison Hiddle was the man who finally put an end to that run, but a 14-yard gain and a first down. Coming in motion for Hamilton Southeastern, Colin Walls and also Carson Kelly. Walker dancing around, having to step up in the pocket. Now he takes off and just runs and slides down. Might have gotten a yard. It's where they started his slide, so they back him up to the 19. So after all of that, Walker ends up losing a yard. So it's second down and 11, but great pursuit there by the Panther defense.
Very good job of keeping him in the pocket, making him scramble for his very existence, and they did a good job of everybody running to that football.
Excuse me on that. My math was bad. He did gain a few, so it's second down and 7. Walker takes the snap here. This time a handoff to, let's see, Carter Reed, and Reed has nowhere to go. So that North Central Panther defensive front that was so key in last week's win, they get a good stop on Reed there.
You know, they have a quickness that you don't see very often. They've got some big physical kids, but they have some quickness there. HSC tried a little counter play where they're pulling people, and the Panthers got up the field, made penetration, and a tackle for a loss.
Jacob Hudson in on the tackle for North Central, and now the crowd rising to its feet here at Panther Nation. Walker facing a third down and about 7, takes the snap and fires. Catch made inside the red zone down to the 5, and the catch is hauled in by Colin Walls. So it's first and goal now for Hamilton Southeastern.
Good call against the right defense. Just a read route where he got down the field, sat in the open spot, and delivered the ball. This is a veteran quarterback who knows what he's doing, and they caught the Panthers in the right defensive call there to make that play.
Jaden Wakefield first man there, so it's first and goal from the 4, a gain of 11. Walker getting ready to set things up. Looking around, moving 2 tight ends in motion there, Walls and Carson Kelly. Now in motion, it is William Cheetah, and we have a whistle, and what do we have? Looks like our first timeout of the game called here by Hamilton Southeastern, and while they do that, we'll pass along some messages to you. Our broadcast tonight brought to you in part by Aliuna, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are Aliuna. And by LD Smith Plumbing. Tonight's big dog of the game is powered by LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. In plumbing and in football, the battle is won in the trenches, and that's where the big dogs dig. Linemen open the holes, unclog the mess, and protect their team every single down. That is why LD Smith Plumbing and Drains highlights the big dog of the game. Stay tuned, and we'll award the big dog in the 4th quarter. Last week, our big dog winner was Anton Ennis, a 6'3", 330-pound defensive lineman and sophomore for North Central. So we'll see who the candidate is this time. But make no mistake about it, Joe, the trenches will decide who goes on and wins this game.
They certainly will, and we're going to need Ennis to step it up right here. Short yardage situations, that's when your big men have to come through. And that offensive line from HSC is always polished.
First and goal from the 4. They always run at least 2 or 3 tight ends. Walker takes the snap, and here's the handoff to Reed, and Reed blasts his way up the middle. Couple guys touched him, but Reed had no trouble getting in the end zone, and Hamilton Southeastern takes the early 6-0 advantage.
Well, that's going to be the chore for that North Central defense. HSC, that offensive line has been together for a while. They're well coached. They're taking advantage of some good angles with some block downs and pulling people, and it's going to be a tough situation here to stop that tough run.
Jacob Hudson got his hands on him but couldn't quite finish him off. Luke Marchione on for the extra point. The holder is Keon Kelly. Snap good, the kick on its way, and it is up, and he made it. So 7-0 Hamilton Southeastern, 5 plays, 32 yards on that scoring drive, a little over 2 minutes off the clock. North Central gets the ball when we return on the ISC Sports Network.
Being a Division III athlete, I can be an athlete and still have very strong academics, especially here at Wabash.
Professors here are super supportive of the athletic work that we do. That's a really great way that Wabash supports its student athletes.
I love being a Division III athlete. I have a tremendous amount of work being a biochemistry major, and I can still flip the switch, go to practice, play the sport that I love, and you can do both.
North Central about to get the ball back. Don't forget to hit the spot at Raising Cane's, where every chicken finger is hand battered and cooked to order. Every crinkle cut fry comes from grade A premium potatoes, and each thick sliced Texas toast is lightly brushed with Cane's garlic butter blend and grilled to golden brown perfection. And most importantly, where the secret recipe cane sauce is made in restaurant every day. The Cane's box combo, sure to hit the spot and leave you craving more. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. Well, Luke Marchione on the opening kickoff had a touchback. Certainly got a leg on him here, and he has touchback number 2 already on the evening. So North Central, as they did on their opening drive, will start from the 20 once again with 6:22 to go here in this first quarter. I'm John Herrick along with Joe Polizzi. Hamilton Southeastern with a 7-0 lead over North Central after the extra point was made by Marchione, capping off a 5-play, 32-yard scoring drive, 2 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock.
Well, a strong physical team like Hamilton Southeastern, they're gonna earn their way. The last thing you want to do is help them, and that turnover on the punt that gave them a great field position was certainly a boost for the Royals.
So here we go. Chase Grove takes the snap, gives to Zion Murphy. Murphy had a 56-yard touchdown run last week, gets the carry here. Not much work, and was able to pick his way forward for a couple. And it's 2nd down and 8. He was met on that play by Maxwell Johnson.
Well, they have a couple guys in that backfield that can carry that football and bust it at any second. And he's the two kind of backs that you always are on your feet once they get their hands on it. And that's what they're going to need right now to regain that momentum.
Grove from the gun. Murphy to his right. Demetrius Averett in the slot right. Here's the snap, handoff. And not much working there for Murphy, but Murphy, despite having guys on his back, able to fight his way forward to the 25, picking up 3, and that sets up a 3rd down and 5.
We saw the toughness last week of all those backs that get a chance to carry that football. They are not in a hurry to go down. They fight and scratch and claw and make it a 3rd down and somewhat measurable here.
Adam Hoog, the first man there for the Hamilton Southeastern Royals to make the tackle. 3rd and 5. As we come up on 5 minutes left in the first quarter, there goes Averett in motion. Grove steps up, under duress, but he's able to get out of it. 1st down and more. And he is pushed out of bounds at, they say, the 41-yard line. That is a gain of 16 and a Panther first.
And another big 3rd down conversion on the merits of some sharp quarterback play. I love the way he just has a good feel for what's going on about him. They brought some heat, really nothing downfield there, and took it into his own hands and made things happen.
Adam Hoog had to chase him down again. Well, I thought they had him out at the 40 Okay, yep, 41. That's just where they're backed up. Already seeing some hands on hips there for Hamilton Southeastern. Part of the reason that the Royals scored on 32-yard drive is because a miscue on the punt where the punter accidentally downed the ball with his knee. He didn't mean to, but he accidentally went down, and that's exactly why North Central gave Hamilton Southeastern great field position, and the Panthers are calling their first timeout of the game. So both teams have burned one here early going in the first quarter. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Shear Brothers Realty. Curious as to how much your home is worth? The Shear Brothers team at United Real Estate will provide you with a no-cost, no-obligation market value report of your home. So call now at 317-255-7285. I'm John Herrick along with Joe Polizzi. And Joe, it looks like North Central has settled down into the game a little bit. What do they have to do to keep this going?
I think that they're doing a nice job of picking their spots of running the football. They're getting really good quarterback play on 2 key third down conversions. I think you're right. They just have to settle in and really find something they can accomplish in that running game and then just wear it out.
Chase Grove from the gun to his right is Tuajon Averett. So you'll see Demetrius and Tuajon quite a bit. There's Demetrius in motion. Snap to Grove. Dumps it off in the flat. And what a read there by Hamilton Southeastern's Adam Hoog. Adam Hoog with 3 tackles already on this drive, and this one is a tackle for loss back to the 40-yard line, 2nd down and 11.
Well, they picked the right call. I mean, they're trying to run the screen against some real tough pressure, but super job of reading that and just followed it perfectly and snuffed it out.
Yatuan Sledge tried to get out there and throw a block, but Hamilton Southeastern too quick to it. That was one of the things that Coach Michael Kelly told us. Kelly, by the way, 43-14 in his 6th year at IHSAA, 57-30 in 9 years overall. He said the effort was great. We just need to be better at cleaning up mistakes. Grove down the middle, might have a man. It does! The catch is made by Javen Brooks. Already 2 huge catches in this game by Javen Brooks, the sophomore wide receiver.
Well, they brought the house, and there was adequate pressure on him. Nice job up front. Chase hung in there pretty well. He took a hit. He's kind of limping out there, but beautiful job of spotting that post under pressure. Very, very impressive.
And that is a 41-yard catch and play right there. He just got behind Kyle Jenkins. Jenkins is a senior. He's getting some Division I looks, but man, what a job there by Javen to get behind him. Grove takes the snap and gives to Averett. Averett's got a hole. He's inside the 10, and he's down to about the 7. That's a gain of 12 and a first down for North Central.
But
a flag is down, though.
Doggone it. Nice job up front. Nice call, kind of a delay trap. Bringing it back.
And you can hear the dismay from the Panther fans. So that's the second holding call of the game on North Central.
Those are the things you have to eliminate to beat a team like this. And to beat a team like this will certainly get the attention of every football fan in the state of Indiana if North Central can come back and make this happen. But you're not going to do it with those drive-busting penalties.
So back them up. Instead of having it at the 7, you've got it back to the 29 after the 10-yard penalty, 1st and 20. Snap to Grove, fires down the middle, and catch made! Touchdown Panthers! Javen Brooks with 3 catches already, and this one for a 29-yard touchdown.
Beautiful job of recovering. He just sat there with great poise, saw the post, laid it up there perfectly, and took advantage of a defensive breakdown to get the Panthers on the board.
Hamilton Southeastern is going to have to figure out Javen Brooks. He's been making catches in traffic. He's had a wide open grab too. The guy there for Hamilton Southeastern was Henry Wands. They had a crack at him, but not until it was too late. And the extra point is applied by Caleb Bowles and Folas is able to knock it through, and it's a 7-7 tie in the blink of an eye. That is a 6-play drive, 80 yards, and North Central had the ball for 3 minutes and 8 seconds. But man, Joe, Javen Brooks, look at the speed he is posing, the problems he is giving this Hamilton Southeastern defense.
Excellent job of answering that short touchdown that HSC got. Even with a back-breaking 15-yard penalty, this team kept their poise, kept their protection, and laid it up there for a beautiful post touchdown.
These two teams have played each other just 12 times in the last 40 years, and Hamilton Southeastern has won 7 of the 12 meetings. And last year, HSC dominated North Central in a season where they struggled, of course, and went winless. 49-26 was the final. So the question coming in was, how competitive would North Central be able to keep it? And so far, they are hanging tough with the Panthers. HSC is ranked 9th in Class 6A, and North Central 14th. Again, early rankings, still learning a lot about both these teams. Second week of the high school football season. And now, Hamilton Southeastern about to get the ball.
The fact that they can play over, they've proven it so far in this game, certainly last week. They're able to play over mistakes rather than let a mistake turn into 2, 3, 4, and then the heads go down. But to play through that and hit the big plays is certainly a great formula for knocking this HSC team off.
Colin Walls, one of the men back deep for HSC, and Walls comes up to get it. He turns to the outside. He's got a good run down the sideline, and what a return there by Walls. Out across the 50, and where are they going to place it? It looks like at the 45, so a really good return there of 40 yards. So special teams posing a problem here for North Central.
Yeah, that's an excellent answer on HSC's side. Kind of the Panthers went down with a good tempo, but got out of their lanes and a couple blocks, and the ball breaks to the outside. Very, very, very difficult, again, to give a team this powerful the short touchdown opportunities.
So the 40-yard return sets up 1st and 10 for Hamilton Southeastern at the North Central 45. The handoff, Carter Reed, who scored the touchdown earlier, blasts his way forward for about 4. They put him at the 41-yard line. 2nd down and 6 coming up for HSC. The two guys there for North Central, Jacob Hudson and Kenneth Still.
They're getting after it up front. There's a whole lot of battling going on. I love seeing this.
So Terry Walker, it's kind of funny that Terry Walker is wearing blue and white in high school, because he's going to be wearing blue and white next year when he goes to Duke to play with the Blue Devils. He's in the shotgun, takes the snap, clean pocket, fires, catch made, 1st down and more. To the 24-yard line, and the first reception of the night for Graham Toner, senior wide receiver, 6'1", 185 pounds.
Well, they're going to have to create ways to get better pressure on him. He had all day, as you said, and you give a guy like him that much time, and he's going to find something open. Beautiful job on hitting that slant. Terry's talented.
It's a gain of 18 yards. Walker back to the ground game with Reed. This time Reed is smothered. Nowhere to go. First guy there for the Panthers, Emmanuel Ohiningdwumfor. What a job by him. He's number 74 on your screen, and it's like he just read it perfectly.
And that's not his first. He's been hot like that all game. That's a big dog candidate right there.
And they're putting it at the 23, so the official ruling from the officials is no gain. 2nd and 10. Fakes to Reed, fires, catch made, and for a few yards, that was done by William Cheetah. And slides down to get it at the 18-yard line. Pickup of 5. 3rd and 5.
Southeastern coaching staff trying to find different ways to move the football, put the formation into the boundary and hit the slant to the field. This is a very big third down opportunity for this Panther defense.
Everything is shaking right now at Panther Stadium. Walker fakes to Reed, keeps it, has the first down, has to get away from the referee. He's inside the 10 and finally corralled at the 6-yard line, so he picks up 12, and that's first and goal.
Excellent offensive call. Let the quarterback keep the ball. First time that's happened in this game, and it's not the first time it's happened. He did it a lot last week. But the fact that they were able to pull that out and run it with the quarterback puts an added extra pressure on the defense.
Jamison Hiddle saves a touchdown there. Back to Reed. Reed up the gut. Reed reaching for the goal line, and the ball is out, and North Central's got it. Jamison Hiddle looks like he is the man that's recovered the ball. Waiting to see what the ruling is. The ball clearly came out, and North Central's got it. A fumble at the 1-yard line, and what a break for the Panthers.
That's good, aggressive defense. Everybody running to the football. And he tried to hold this out a little bit too soon. Good hit right on the ball and heads up play to scoop that out of the way and stuff a drive and get some great momentum for this Panther offense.
Well, Jamison Hiddle, the man that recovered the ball, and you feel for Carter Reed. It's always tough when you see a play like that where the player's just fighting as hard as he can, and they're saying that's an even bigger break for North Central because they say the fumble happened in the end zone and they recovered it, so North Central gets to have it at their own 20 instead of their own 1. So what a difference that makes. Chase Grove and company trying to take advantage. He rolls, he fires, and the catch is made for another Panther first down. Boy, the Panther passing game in the first game was solid, and it's being solid again. There's Averett with a catch.
Well, we talked about momentum and how important it is, and certainly in this first quarter, but they are not, this is not just happening, they are forcing it to happen. Heads up play to keep that ball out of the end zone. Offense moving that quarterback around on the sprint out on that first down play to give him a different look, and just a poised throw and catch.
20-yard gain, 1st and 10 for North Central. Since he went out of bounds, the clock did not stop. And, well, North Central is calling a time. Well, I think they were wondering about the play clock. And I think that's what Coach Colin Cofer is trying to argue. And the question here is, does he want to take the timeout or have a delay of game penalty? Because one official was motioning like it was delay of game. I think they might have not reset the play clock correctly, but we'll see. Chase Grove, this allows him some time to look at Colin Cofer for another play. And here we go. So they do have to run another play since Averett ran out of bounds on the last one. Murphy is the running back this time. Brown takes the snap. Or Grove, excuse me, fires it out left. Catch is made by Waddell, and this time he's got nowhere to go, but a flag comes down.
We saw that.
Might be a face mask.
Absolutely is.
And if that is the first penalty of the game on Hamilton Southeastern, what a rough time it comes in.
In fact, he might have grabbed it twice. He hit it once and then let it go and then got it again.
I saw your face the minute he did it, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. The speed of North Central, especially their skill positions, the speed has got the Royals on their heels.
Puts it at Hamilton Southeastern 43-yard line. 10 seconds left. Now the clock is winding, so it looks like the Panthers may just let it wind down. They will. The first quarter comes to an end, and when we come back, we will bring you to North Central football in Hamilton Southeastern territory with a tie game at 7. You're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
Go. Faster.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, forget about X's and O's. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers.
First and 10 for North Central right as we start the second quarter. Zion Murphy, who had a touchdown run last week, goes flying up the middle, tackled at the 31-yard line, picking up 12, and yet another North Central first down.
Nice job of creating some distraction in there with the motion back and handling it up front. Again, they're coming off the ball really tough and physical. That's that North Central offensive line, well coached and in the right spots all day so far today.
Fourth play of the drive. Murphy again riding the hot hand, but this time he has nowhere to go. HSC was right on top of it. Hoog on the tackle yet again for Hamilton Southeastern, helped out by Jordan Rogers, a 230-pound defensive lineman. So second and 10 for North Central. It would be quite a moment for North Central, who struggled so mightily against Hamilton Southeastern last year, to have a lead against them. See if they can get it here on this drive. 30 yards away from a touchdown. Chase Grove hit as he throws down the middle, and it's incomplete. North Central fans want a flag. They won't get it. Of course, he was going for the man who's had 3 catches already tonight, Javen Brooks, but that time Hamilton Southeastern had it covered well.
They had it covered, and they brought the house. They brought both linebackers and both inside guys kind of moved to the outside, brought the backers through. I thought it was a great effort just to get rid of that football and take away the sack and lost yardage situation.
Chase Grove has been very poised last game and even in this one too. And in this one so far, he has been under far more duress than he was against Brebeuf.
He sure was.
Zion Murphy, the running back.
He has the knack of making the big play. Oh, no.
And then the ball gets snapped behind him. He picks it up. He's under duress. He avoids it. He fires. Catch is not made. Looked like he might have a man open. HSC was all over it. And now you're looking at 4th down and long. From this distance, it would be about a 49-yard field goal if you wanted to try it, but I don't think anyone from North Central's got the leg for that.
There's a little bit of a wind behind him. I think that was just a breakdown. Normally, on a scramble play like that, everybody has a spot to go offensively on the field, and I don't think Chase was expecting that from his wideout, and thus we're facing this long-yarded situation.
He's very lucky that he wasn't sacked by Austin Dombro. Dombro was in the backfield really quickly. Snap. Grove has time, takes off and runs. And he's not going to get the first down, and a really good job there for chasing on that by Dryden Moore. And I think, let's see, and that's enough to turn the ball over on down. So at least if you're Grove, it was too long for a field goal, too deep for a punt. You had to go for it. They do not get it. They come up short. And it's 1st and 10 for Hamilton Southeastern from their own 25-yard line. So good job by the Royal defense to stand tall. And now they try to retake the lead.
They were trying to hit that post. The Royals stuck in a 2-safety defense in the backfield, and they were unable to hit that post, and nice job by Chase just getting some plus yardage out of it.
And
boom.
Nowhere to go. What a job there by North Central's Jaden Wakefield, senior defensive back who's been all over the place. And he was able to take down the HSC running back and Drake Satterfield that time. Satterfield thought he was going to have a path, and he got taken down at the 27 for a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
That is so helpful when a deep safety can come up and make a tackle like that with a big hit.
And they go back to Satterfield again, and pretty much the same result as last time. This time it's North Central's Garland Davenport, senior linebacker, tackling him for no gain. So it's 3rd down and 8.
They are well coached on their defense. Everybody's in the right spot. There was only maybe a couple times last week that wasn't the case. But everybody's fitting in the right situation and lots of good support and backside help.
Terry Walker from the gun. See if he can make something happen with his arms or legs. He fires this time, and the catch is made for the Royal first down, as it is Graham Toner sidestepping his way out of bounds for a first down at the 37, a gain of 10.
Another example of if you give Terry time, he's going to find somebody open. Didn't bring the house, brought just front 3 pressure, which wasn't enough to hurry him, and he just sat back there and hit the out, and he can do that all day long.
5th first down of the game for HSE. Walker fakes. Pocket is clean. Now it's not. Walker trying to buy time. He steps up and he fires. He's got options, and he finds one of them in North Central territory, and backpedaling his way in to make the catch for the Royals is Andre Golston. What a catch that was.
Excellent quarterback play. Flushed out of the pocket, broke a couple tackles, kept his eyes down the field, hit a nice crossing route. He is a talented young man.
That's a gain of 20. He was tackled by Wakefield. Wakefield was in position, but he was a little bit late. Fresh set of downs for the Royals. Walker with time and has a man open. And this is Colin Walls, and Walls high-stepping his way inside the 20. So North Central's defense has been solid, but these last 2 plays, gains of 20 and now 24 yards.
And both of them have been the result of good quarterback play. That was just a first down play action. Super job on the call. He faked it very well. Got his big tight end wide open and laid it out there and moving those chains.
Jacob Hudson finally got over there, but not before the big gain. Walker, the handoff to Satterfield. Satterfield this time a solid run, bouncing off tacklers to about the 12. So gain of 7 should bring up 2nd down and short.
This drive, we're seeing the kind of ball. This is what HSE likes to play. They can run it, they can play action, pass it, and you got a quarterback that's a Division I kid making plays on a scramble. So they're playing their kind of football, hitting their stride here in the 2nd quarter.
North Central Panther Nation trying to regather their team here. Walker goes back to Carter Reed now, and Reed hog-tied down at about the 9-yard line. So gain of 3. I think it's right at the marker. That might be enough for a first down, but I haven't seen it change. They say no. It's 3rd down and about short, and you probably just saw Walker's reaction like, oh, dang it, I thought we had the first down. But instead, it's 3rd and probably, it looks like less than a yard. But HSC loves to spread it. Reed, they fake it to him. Walker to the outside. First down, trying to get the touchdown. Can't quite get there, but it's 1st and goal at the 1 as he gains 8 on that rush.
That's about as safe as anything you could do is keep it in his hands. He's a physical guy for a quarterback, and that short yardage run fake drew most everybody in, and it was one-on-one on the corner, and Terry's going to win that most times versus anybody.
Zabari Green made the tackle, but Walker carried him to the 1. Back to Reed. Reed this time loses yardage. So that's exactly what you wanted if you're North Central, not at all what you wanted if you're HSC. And it's 2nd and goal coming up from the 2. We're about to have the 10th play of the drive.
North Central defense, very, very scrappy, certainly more effective when they could get penetration because their quickness is a factor against this HSC front.
And now, new running back getting the carry this time. Into the end zone for the touchdown, Tayshawn Sanders. Hightails it in, and that brings the HSC Royals to their feet.
Nice job up front at the point of attack. Came off the football beautifully. The Panthers had a chaser man who almost got it from behind. but rolled him right into the end zone. Nice drive, good answer. This is a heck of a football game.
Yes, it is. 10 plays, 75 yards in a drive that went almost 4 minutes. 3 minutes and 51 seconds officially. Snap good, hold good. Luke Marchione's kick. Nailed it. 14-7. Hamilton Southeastern back on top. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Ruth's Cafe. Start your morning at Ruth's Cafe, where the coffee's fresh, the breakfast is made with love, and everyone's greeted with a smile. For 17 years, we've been serving up breakfast, brunch, and lunch to our community. We're open daily from 7 to 2, so come in, get comfortable, and feel right at home. We're also brought to you in part by Trine University. At Trine, you'll become thunderous with every goal achieved, concept realized, and project aced. Personally supported by world-class faculty. Find out why Trine graduates have an over 99% employment rate and make noise in any field they choose at trine.edu. Now it's kind of a moment, Joe, where you look at it, it's gut check time if you're North Central. How do you respond after that tough moment? And that's the first time, I think, through the first, game and a half in the 2025 season that we've seen the North Central defense give up some big play.
They have, and this is a great time for the offense to answer, but that's pretty much prototypical HSC football. They're going to find ways to get angles on you up front and run the football, play action pass. They're mixing it up.
Marchione's kickoff takes a hop. Averett fields it. Averett gets to the outside. Demetrius Averett posing some trouble here. Averett finally shoved out of bounds at around midfield. That is a return of about 37 yards on that. So we've seen big kickoff returns on both sides now.
Speed, huh? You can't beat speed. He just turned the corner and outran everybody. You're never out of it when you got people that can run like that.
And now North Central gets to start this drive from HSC territory, from the Royal 49-yard line.
There's been some big plays in the kicking game that have been factors.
Major factors. And that's the thing. Both coaches this week talked about all three phases and emphasized the need to be sharp on special teams, and both teams have had some issues on special teams. Chase Grove, and we got a movement up front. I think the right tackle might have jumped a little bit early, and North Central's offense knows right away. They immediately started backing up. So that's the third penalty of the game on North Central for 25 yards. 2 holding penalties and now a false start.
They're tough to overcome. I think that tackle that moved, he saw the linebackers cheating up and got a little itchy on the trigger finger.
1st and 15.
They're getting him again.
Averett busting loose. Averett. Oh, he was one shoestring tackle away from possibly a touchdown. The man who saved the touchdown was Kyle Jenkins, but it's another first down for NC.
Absolutely perfect call, whether it was just a stroke of good luck or they had it called, but they're bringing everybody up the middle. That's been effective in flushing Chase out of the pocket. But if you got a guy, a speedster, that can pop it to the outside, those are the results you're going to see.
It's a 19-yard pickup. Throw outside, catch made by Waddell. And Waddell found the hole in the zone, gets tackled at the 32 for a gain of 4. And second down and about 6 coming up for the Panthers.
Good natural reaction, coaching reaction from a team that's really coming up the middle on their blitz. Hit the outside, let a skill guy break a tackle, and you never know what's going to happen. But I like the way this game is being coached on both sides. They're doing a great job of taking advantage of their weapons.
Averett's in the game, Waddell in there as well. Javen Brooks and Zion Murphy gets the carry, has absolutely nowhere to go. That is because of the effort of Maxwell Johnson.
Pretty well blocked at the point of attack. Maxwell got it from behind, or there was some room to run. But again, a key third down situation. We've seen some good performance from the Panther quarterback and third down tough calls.
This might be time for the Averett brothers. We got Tuajon Averett in the game. Wide to the left goes Juwan Waddell. Brooks in there too. Chase Grove spreads him out. Grove fakes, hit as he throws, ball up in the air, intercepted. And he goes down with his knee, so he's down at the spot where he slides. And what a job there by Blake Babb, who slides down to get the interception.
Wow. And that was open. They tried that post, which would have been a great situation had he got it off cleanly. But did not happen that way.
So, first interception of the season for Babb. HSE has the ball back. So those are two things that have got to drive you crazy if you're Coach Colin Kofer. The punt miscue in the first quarter, now the interception gives Hamilton Southeastern the ball back on their own 17 with 4:39 left in the half. Walker fakes, keeps, up the middle he goes, first down, bounces off a tackle and slides down at the 32 where Kenneth Still was finally the man there to get him, but big gain on first down.
He's certainly showing his talents. He's got a nice arm. He's very cool and collected as a quarterback, and he's got the ability to pull it out and run the ball. That interception was offensive pass protection breakdown. It's a shame because they were in good situation, and it was the right play called. Just you got to protect.
Carter Reed, the ball carrier again. Nowhere to go this time. They spot him at the 34. He gains just 2, and that's because of the efforts of Jacob Hudson, the junior linebacker, who flies up to put it into that.
Both teams getting after it, though. Sure do like the way this game has been played. Certainly enthusiasm on both sides, and this North Central crowd has become rabid football fans, haven't they, in a couple weeks?
Second down and 7. Walker. Carter Reed, the ball carrier. Reed sidesteps a defender and gets taken down at the 41. So Reed looked like he wasn't going to have much, but ended up getting to the 40, they say. That's where they spot him. That's a gain of 6. Not enough for a first down, though. 3rd and a yard.
I think we're seeing a little bit of fatigue from that defensive front from North Central. Offensive line of HSE has been pounding off the ball, and that wears on you. And they're getting some nice gaps in that front to cut back and make it happen.
Walker hands it off to Reed. Reed nearly fell down, but he was able to stay on his feet just enough to get the first down as he was tackled by Jamison Hill.
Nice effort. That ball, that point of attack was plugged up pretty well. Made the nice cut, picked up a key first down.
Timeout situation. North Central has 1 left, and the Royals have 2. Walker fires, left side, catch made. That is Turner Berry, and Berry just shy of midfield. They spot him at the 48 for a gain of 3. Second down and 7.
Pretty well played. They jumped on that out in a hurry. Usually when you see that, they're ready to come back with the out and up. Keep your eyes on that, but that was a beautiful break by the EB.
Also should mention that Hamilton Southeastern gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So this drive is especially important defensively for North Central. Here's the snap and the handoff. What a job by Satterfield and the speed he's got to the outside, and he's shoved out of bounds by Avier Walker, but he's got the first down in North Central territory at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, these last 2 drives we've seen HSC do what they do. They're moving the ball left and right and up and down using the run and the play action pass. They just have things going. Time to break the momentum with this Panther front. Bring some heat. Get them on their heels.
Javier Walker made that tackle. 12-yard gain. First and 10, Walker the snap. Terry Walker firing, might have a man and does. The catch is made inside the 5. He's shy of the goal line, but not by much. And what a job that was by Kendrick Pennybaker. Pennybaker was a factor last week, had 5 catches. That's his first one of this week, and it is a 39-yard gain.
4 seams down the middle. They caught the defense in the right situation, got inside that hash safety, and he just laid it in there perfectly. Give him time, and he's going to find open receivers. He's very, very good.
So that is the 4th play of the game in the first half by HSC that's gone for 20 yards or more. And the handoff. Satterfield tries to get in. He cannot. North Central's defensive front's not been bad. It's the secondary that's had some issues.
They're tough. That's tough sledding in there. Got some big fellas. Physical.
Jamison Hiddle made that hit. Hiddle had the big fumble recovery earlier. 2nd and goal from the 1. And time is winding down here. See what they can do. Royals are perfectly fine with that. They've had the ball for nearly 4 minutes on this drive. Walker in trouble, steps away, and down he goes at the 1. So the snap was a bit of a bobble. And yet again, they got to the 1. Now they can't seem to punch it in. Big number 99, Anton Ennis there. So was Jaden Wakefield. 3rd and goal.
This is the kind of defensive front where they can get some penetration and they can make things happen.
And Hamilton Southeastern looks like they might be calling a timeout. Like I said, they have 2 to work with, and they will use one of them right here. Now each team has 1 timeout remaining. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the IndyCard Exchange. They'll make you a competitive offer on vintage and modern sports cards and Pokemon cards as well. And the IndyCard Exchange now offers in-person grading services at their 96th Street location just west of I-69. And you can sign your kids up for the free IndyCard Exchange Kids Club if they're 13 or younger. Find out more when you log on to IndyCardExchange.com. We're also brought to you by the Indy Thunder, Indiana's premier beat baseball organization, which gives blind and visually impaired athletes a chance to compete at the national and international level. The Thunder are now 6-time World Series champs, including a perfect 26-0 season in 2025. They're looking for sponsors, volunteers, and even players for their 25th season in 2026. Contact Darnell Booker at 317-370-7231. You can watch the Thunder anytime as well by logging on to ISCSportsNetwork.com. Along with Joe Polizzi, I'm John Herrick. We've got 12 seconds left in this first half. Hamilton Southeastern could go up 2 scores if they can get the ball in here. This is about to be the 10th play of the drive. Their last scoring drive went 10 plays. Reed is the running back. Walker is the quarterback. They do have 1 timeout at their disposal. Walker hands it off. Reed up the right side. He's in. Touchdown, Royals. And Carter Reed gets his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night with 6.9 seconds left in the first half.
It's that extra effort. He was hit and it was stopped, but that spin, I'm surprised they took it off the ball to try that and not just sneak it. But extra effort got him in the end zone. That's a big, big, big play going into halftime.
Yeah, Xavier Storm held on, but that's the thing about these Hamilton Southeastern players. They are big and strong, and even when you get your hands on them, they can carry you forward. Luke Marchione trying to hit his 3rd extra point of the night. Sophomore kicker. Snap is good. The hold looks like it gets down, and the kick is through. So it is 21-7. Hamilton Southeastern with 6.9 seconds to go in the first half. So North Central not a whole lot of time to work with here. Don't forget that on the basketball court, Travis Carroll was an Indiana All-Star. Now, he's an all-star in the field of real estate. Wherever you may be located in the Indy area, you can count on Remax Centerstone and Travis Carroll. Reach out for your complimentary market assessment on your home today at 317-966-7388. That's 317-966-7388. Of course, the Paul Logan name means a great deal in North Central. Chad Hiddle is our halftime guest coming up. He is a board member of the Logan Foundation, so we'll catch up with Chad at halftime. 14 in a row scored by Hamilton Southeastern after North Central tied the game at 7. So the Panthers have an uphill battle. Now, we have seen big kick returns these last couple times out. We'll see if we have another one here.
Well, I think what we've seen the last couple drives is some stellar quarterback play to enable those drives to go 10 plays, 11 plays. You just need quarterbacks that can keep the poise, keep the chains moving, make the right reads, and he's certainly doing that.
Officially, that was 10 plays, 83 yards on the scoring drive, 4 minutes and 33 seconds off the clock. The wind blew the ball off the tee. So Marchione puts it back on there. Perfect night. 70 degrees, partly cloudy sky. Wind gusts around 12 miles an hour at times. Other than that, just perfect night for football. Marchione drives that, so he's kicking into the wind this time, which means North Central has a chance at a return here from Everett. And Everett up the middle, and flag comes down. Now there's 1.4 seconds left in the first half, so we got to see what this penalty's about. This week, last week, of course, a lot of games across the state had a lot of penalties. First game of the season, there's jitters, players making mistakes. Much more clean game this time, but North Central, they just picked up their 4th penalty of the night, and 3 of the 4 have been holding. Now they got to mark it off 10 yards from where the foul occurred, and I think I'd be shocked if we see anything but a North Central kneel down here with just 1.4 seconds remaining. And back they go to what is the 19-yard line.
There was some promise on that kick return, though. An alley opened up and closed in a hurry, but it's going to be a big key. North Central through the year, they can just keep working on that kick return. They have got the flyers that can make it great.
So North Central takes the kneel down. Hamilton Southeastern takes the 2-touchdown lead into the locker room here at halftime. 21-7 in this battle of two 1-0 teams. We'll have our halftime show, a halftime feature, and also a halftime trivia question. So much still coming your way. Stay with us on the ISC Sports Network.
Trine University, we are thunderous. But how do we get that way? One rumble at a time. Every challenge faced, every insight earned, every setback surmounted puts you on the path to exceed all expectations, yours included. It's why Trine graduates have an over 99% employment rate and make noise in whatever field we choose. What kind of noise, you ask? Here's a hint. Hear more at trine.edu.
Our halftime show is brought to you in part by Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know. We're also brought to you in part by LiUNA, the proud members of the Indiana Laborers District Council and affiliate local unions who build Indiana. We are LIUNA. By Raising Cane's. Game days are better with Cane's. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. By Taylor's Pub and Grill. Come for the game, stay for the good times. And by Travis Carroll and Centerstone Realty, your all-star in the field of real estate. We are also brought to you in part by Wabash College. Be sure to schedule your visit now at wabash.edu. This is our Taylor's Pub halftime show. Taylor's Pub and Grill at Greenbrier and Nora is your neighborhood pub where the drinks are cold, the crowd's electric, and the welcome is always warm. We've been serving Indy's North Side for over 30 years. Come for the game, stay for the good times at both 86th and Ditch and 86th and Westfield, right next to North Central High School. Along with Joe Polizzi, I'm John Herrick. Your halftime scores you see there on your screen, 21-7 advantage, Hamilton Southeastern. So, Joe, this was a 7-7 tie early in the game, but what in the world happened for Hamilton Southeastern to take advantage here?
Well, they just went back to their old playbook and just started meticulously driving the football, running it, play action pass, a couple of key gains by the quarterback keeper, and North Central has become a big play offense, and they just haven't been able to connect on that for one reason or another.
And the other thing, too, Hamilton Southeastern is going to get the ball, too, to start the third quarter. North Central's been able to hang their hat on their defense through really the first game against Brebeuf and most of the first half of this one. But as that second quarter went on, the defense kind of broke a little bit. So if you're North Central, how do you find that resolve and try to put that wall of steel back up?
I would think that they're going to have to get more defensive linemen involved in the game. These guys get worn out. That's very, very physical up front, and they are a penetrating front. In order to be successful, they're going to need to penetrate, so they've got to get some fresh horses involved.
One thing you got to like if you're Hamilton Southeastern, Terry Walker, of course, your Division I quarterback who's going to Duke, but he has really, I feel like he's done some good things, but the running game has really been what's propelled HSC a lot so far.
It really has. They block things so well. They have for years. They're taking advantage of all their angles and good hard running backs. But Terry's the guy. He makes it happen, and he can pull out and run it, and he can hit you deep. But he's the big threat. But ball control has been the key for them so far in this first half.
The North Central band trying to rally the troops at halftime. We will have a halftime interview for you with a member of the Paul Logan Foundation when we come back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first started learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
Well, you can't be at North Central and not talk about the Paul Logan Foundation. And joining us now is Craig Hittle, a board member of the Paul Logan Foundation. Craig, thank you so much for coming on board. First of all, for those of you who don't know, Craig is Jamison Hittle's dad. Your son, Jamison, playing awfully well in his first couple games.
Oh, I appreciate that. He's having a lot of fun. It's a new culture. It's a new day here at North Central, and he's really enjoying himself.
The Paul Logan Foundation is something that really seems to be expanding. A lot of people are involved in it, really carrying on Paul's legacy. What do you think is really special about that?
Yeah, it's, Paul obviously meant so much to this community, and, he was my defensive coordinator when I played here, and, the thing I always remember about him was just his heart, his passion, and his presence. He was everywhere at North Central, right? And so his presence resonated with all the sports, all the athletes, the men's and women's sports, and it's just been an honor to continue to honor his name and the family through the foundation and just be able to give back to the kids, the student athletes here in the township. What's the big mission of the Paul Logan Foundation that you want people to know about? Yeah, the biggest thing, what Paul did, what made him so unique was that, it costs a lot of money to play sports, right? We're a very diverse township, and statistically, we have a very diverse township, but it costs a lot, and there's a lot of kids that can't afford to play sports. And so Paul used to come out of his own pocket to help kids play for the player packs. And so the foundation really is, our main mission is to really raise money and awareness, but really to give back to the kids, to be able to fund youth athletics so they can play sports, right? It's a great outlet for them and a great learning experience, and that's the main mission, is we want to give money to kids that need the financial assistance and the other support that they need to play sports. Do you guys have anything coming up with the foundation over the next few weeks or months that you want people to know about? Yeah, we've got a couple kind of informal social events really over the first 4 years of the foundation. We've done some really neat fundraising events. We call it Paul's Panther Party. We've had a lot of alumni, a lot of people come in, and very generous sponsors and donors to raise money. We're still in the planning stages for our next big event, but it's been great. It grows year after year. The number of sponsors that we are able to accumulate has grown significantly. And ultimately, we have a pretty aggressive goal to raise up to $1 million in the next 5 to 7 years to be able to fund future grants for the programs. Craig Hiddle's our guest, board member of the Paul Logan Foundation, and it looks like the foundation is expanding right as North Central is expanding. A lot of great things happening on this campus. Yeah, a lot of momentum. Just a lot of, you can just feel the energy difference, right? I think anytime there's change and you've got some new leadership in place and you've got a really enthused fan base and alumni base. I know when Coach Kofer was hired, a lot of my old coaches, a lot of old alumni were just thrilled about the new day and just looking to the future. And yeah, North Central is a campus. North Central is an academic institution. It really is a destination for teachers, for administrators, for counselors, and for kids, right? And there's just so much this township can offer. Craig, just a little bit of time left. What is the one thing you want the audience to know left that we haven't talked about so far with the Paul Logan Foundation? Yeah, just go to our website, www.paulloganfoundation.org. Lots of ways you can donate and get involved. That's where we advertise some of the events we have coming up. But ultimately, just awareness, right? Just keep supporting the student athletes that need our help to play sports. That's Craig Hiddle, board member of the Paul Logan Foundation. Craig, thank you so much for taking some time to join us. Thanks for having us. I really appreciate it. We'll have your Wabash College halftime trivia question when we come back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
You get this really close interaction, not only with the professor, you also get a connection with the other students.
It holds you accountable. You stay on top of your work and you show up to class, you put in the effort.
You're never gonna have a day where you're like, oh, I think I can get away with maybe not talking so much or maybe not doing this reading. There's really no option for that at Wabash because your professors know exactly who you are and they know exactly how to push you to make sure you're pushing yourself.
Countdown 3, 2, 1.
(21-7), your halftime score for Hamilton Southeastern as they lead the North Central Panthers, along with Joe for a trivia question. Brought to you by Wabash College. The Wabash College football begins 6th when the Little Giants visit St. Norbert in Wisconsin. This is what year for football at Wabash? Is it A, number 125, B, number 133, C, number 138, or D, number 141?
Do you want the immediate answer?
Sure.
I'm going to say B,
Close.
133.
Close. It's actually C, 138. Wabash began playing football back in 1484. So this is the 138th year of Wabash football. Schedule your campus visit now at wabash.edu. Back in a moment with your halftime stats and highlights on the ISC Sports Network.
At Trine University, we are thunderous. But how do we get that way? One rumble at a time. Every challenge faced, every insight earned, every setback surmounted puts you on the path to exceed all expectations, yours included. It's why Trine graduates have an over 99% employment rate and make noise in whatever field we choose. What kind of noise, you ask? Here's a hint. Hear more at trine.edu.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Halftime score 21-7, advantage North Central for a moment. It was them early on, but then HSC has scored 14 unanswered to take a 14-point lead. And the first half stats, the big ones, I would say, the drives for Hamilton Southeastern. Their first scoring drive was 5 plays, 32 yards, 2 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock. Then they had 2 10-play drives. One went 75 yards for 3:51 off the clock. The second 10-play drive they had went 83 yards, 4:33 off the clock. Carter Reed for HSC, touchdown runs of 4 and 1 yards. He did have one fumble. Tayshawn Sanders has the other touchdown run for Hamilton Southeastern. Chase Grove was driving the football well. He has one touchdown pass. It was to Javen Brooks for 29 yards, but then he had a key interception there late in the second quarter that led to an HSE touchdown drive. When we come back, we'll show you the first half highlights and some of the big plays that's still ahead on the ISC Sports Network. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights from this one. That was Carter Reed helping HSC get on the board first. And Joe, this has been an interesting game where we've had long, consistent drives from both teams, but we've also had some big plays mixed in.
That has been the key for North Central, is to be able to hit the big play. That drive that was broken up by the interception, the batted down interception, certainly stalled North Central, but HSC has been known for their methodical, hard-hitting run drives where they can run the football, they can play action pass. That's been their trademark for a long time. And when you can put together 10-play drives, 2 of them back-to-back without the big mistake, that certainly is a mark of a well-coached, traveled football team.
That was something that really Brebeuf struggled with last week, keeping the ball going. But North Central, they've had moments like right there. This was the interception Joe was talking about, where North Central was really driving, but then the quarterback gets hit, and that leads to an interception. And HSC took advantage of it. 10-play, 83-yard drive. And yeah, North Central's clearly better from last year's season where they went winless. They broke a 32-game losing streak last week. But HSC, I think the big story coming in was how would North Central defend that Division I quarterback of HSC and Terry Walker, and Terry has really posed some big problems for the Panthers.
He certainly has. He is an excellent quarterback and can hurt you in so many ways, and they have done a nice job of using him in the running game where he can pull it out and keep that defense all balanced up. But he's certainly a very good football player. No question that he can play on the Division I level. And I think that North Central has got a few tricks up their sleeves here to come back into this game in the second half. They are a team that has a number, maybe 4, 5, 6 kids that can go the distance at any time with their speed and quickness, plus the play of a very good young sophomore quarterback. So it's going to be an exciting second half.
Well, last week, Terry Walker carried the ball 10 times for 44 yards. Kendrick Pennybaker was held to, he had 5 catches for 65 yards. He only had 1 catch in the first half for HSC, but it was a 39-yarder that set the Royals up first and goal at the 1, and they would go on in to score. So Hamilton Southeastern's got a lot of different weapons to beat you with, and North Central's got their hands full. North Central is on defense first because HSC is about to get the ball to start the third quarter, and that's exactly why when you win the toss, a lot of teams will defer to the second half because they're confident they can get the lead and then start the third quarter with the lead and the ball, and that's exactly what is happening here to HSC. Our second half is brought to you in part by the Fountain Room. The Fountain Room is voted one of America's 50 most beautiful restaurants. We're also brought to you in part by the Gridiron Foundation, Growth, Development, Purpose. Find out more at gridiron.org. By the IndyCard Exchange, see if you can make money off of your collection. Find out how at indycardexchange.com. By LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing and drains. Travis Carroll and Centerstone Realty, your all-star in the field of real estate. By Trine University, be supported, become thunderous, trine.edu. So the sun is setting. We still have a fantastic weather night. It's been great. It's going to be great next week, too. Only really chances of rain in Indianapolis on Wednesday and Thursday. Not a whole lot of it. Probably be like the rain we saw yesterday, which fell very lightly. So we should have another great week for high school football. Joe and I will be at Warren Central next week when North Central plays Warren Central at Warren. 7 o'clock kick. That's a good rivalry game between those two programs. We'll see how the Panthers can rally the troops here defensively as Caleb Foles is ready to kick this one off from his own 40-yard line.
Well, I'm sure these coaches have covered it, that this is a very key drive defensively for North Central. They have got to do some things with their speed and quickness to disrupt this machine that has turned in 2 consecutive 10-play drives for scores. You can't just let them pound on you. You got to make some things happen.
Well, North Central opts for a deep onside, and right as Foles was approaching the ball, the flag flies, and I think somebody might have been too far forward across the 40. Yep, so it is offsides on North Central, so that has to back them up and do the kickoff from the 35. One thing, too, about HSE's special teams alignment, normally you have 2 guys back deep, but Hamilton Southeastern has elected to have 3 guys back.
It's an interesting way to set up your kick return. You don't see it very often, and I'm anxious to see how they make it work here.
Connor Gorman is one of them. He's on the far side. The middle man is Andrew Babb. And then the return man on the near side is Tanner Alexander. Here, this time they squib it down the middle, and it's picked up by Babb. He has to run the other way, Gorman rather. Gorman picks it up, and Gorman gets some good running out of this, but this might be coming back. A flag is down at the 39. So he's feeling good about it right now, but I don't think Connor's going to feel great about what he sees coming off. So this So we had a flag on North Central for offsides, and now we got a flag this time on HSC, so back them up. And that's ironic because both teams made some big returns in the first half, and then they both start with mistakes on special teams to begin the second half.
That is just a well-coached kick return team, getting to the right spots and creating lanes. Something to be concerned about for North Central. They've given up a couple biggies. Thankfully, this one's coming back.
And they've tried, you know, the deep onside, the deep kickoff, and now the squib kick. So they're trying different things. But that's a big break for North Central, because instead of starting with the ball around midfield, HSC is backed up to their own 30.
With all the momentum in the world at the end of that second quarter, they've played some good football. North Central now has to reach into the bag of tricks and see if they can make some things happen to reverse this momentum so they can get on the board with a couple big plays.
Crowd's trying to get involved. I don't know what the delay is for. I guess they might have been trying to find a football. Anyway, referees get one. They put it on the 30. They wind the play clock. And Terry Walker and company ready to go. Two tight ends come in motion. That being Colin Walls and Carson Kelly. Carter Reed the carry, and right as he runs left, picks up a few yards, but that might be coming back because another flag is down.
Good job of bottling that up. Corner came up, supported well, set the edge. Good pressure from the inside, and they're walking this one back.
Well, Hamilton Southeastern only had one penalty in the first half, and they already have two here in the third quarter, and we've only played 15 seconds of this third quarter. So a holding penalty was the first one. This one's a block in the back, and that moves them back to their own 20. First and 20 from the 20. Walker, he's got Carter Reed with him. Pro-style offense, takes the snap and he fires. The catch is made, and it is hauled in on the near side by Kendrick Pennybaker with his second catch of the night. And you see why Pennybaker is so tough to deal with as he gets the penalty yards back and then some, and got it all the way out to the 40 for a 20-yard gain.
Wow, one move and it's 22 yards.
That's
way to get out of the hole. They have so many ways they can hurt you. They can run the football. They can quarterback run the football. They can go deep and they can hit the quick game.
Two catches for Pennybaker for 59 yards. Walker, nowhere to go. Wrapped up Colton Abitar Connor. The linebacker comes flying in and sacks him. Northwestern needed something to go their way on defense, and that time they got it on the free rush.
Excellent job. That is just what they needed to do. Crank up the heat. Don't let them just sit back there and pick their receiver. Bring some heat, and that's the benefit of this great defense with speed and quickness.
That's a loss of 5 back to the 35, so it's 2nd and 15. Now can North Central maybe use some momentum off of that play, force Walker to be uncomfortable. Only a 3-man rush, and Walker has time, tries to scamper out of it. Man open across the middle, into North Central territory he goes. What a job by Walker to buy time. Tackle made by Jamison Hiddle, but a nice catch and run there by Graham Toner.
Just excellent poise. He sat back there, a little bit of pressure, just set his feet, read the field, hit that crossing route beautifully.
And that is a gain of 21 yards and a first down. So that's been one of the big problems for North Central. They have not been able to slow down the HSC passing game.
Not unless they bring heat, and they should bring more heat.
They only brought 3 that time. The fake to Reed, Walker ends up keeping it, and that looked like a somewhat of a broken play. Walker didn't get the best spot. Looked like he went forward a little more than that. And Walker might be down. A flag is down. Walker gets helped up, so that's a good sign for the Royals. But I think it might be against the Royals on this penalty, that is. So we'll see what they say about this. Talking it over. Nope, it's on North Central with a face mask. So that's makes things even more difficult for North Central. And they mark it from the 41. So a 15-yard penalty moves the football to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, a couple big plays and the penalty. Last thing you want to do is give them another opportunity to score here.
6 penalties on North Central. Walker rolling. Got room to run if he wants it. Uses what he can get and runs out of bounds. That might be a late hit. Yep. I understand the tough part for the defender there, but he was a little bit late. And Walker was already in a very defenseless spot. So late hit out of bounds on North Central coming up.
Nah, this is not what they were after coming up for halftime. Oh, that was a little acting involved.
Well, of course.
A little acting.
Andrew Veach got his hands on him first. The penalty goes against Chris Benjamin.
Can't make it close, can you?
So that's a face mask penalty and now a late hit out of bounds. Moves the ball to the 9. First and goal again for Hamilton Southeastern. We've played just 2 minutes here in this third quarter, and the Royals getting some breaks they need. Walker to Reed on the carry. Reed hit and nowhere to go. That's the North Central defensive pressure that Colin Kofer wants to see. First guy there was Jaden Wakefield.
Good hard run to get some positive yards, but you're right. When they bring the heat, and they brought some people there, when they bring the heat, they are difficult to block, and that's got to be what their plan is for the remainder of certainly this drive. Heat them up.
Also, too, HSC's got a kicker who's definitely capable, so they're within his range, even if they don't get a touchdown. Walker rolling, stepping up, nowhere to go, and gets taken down. I'm kind of surprised he didn't throw it away. And that time, that was a clean hit. Nothing late about that one. Colton Avatar Connor, fantastic pursuit there.
You're right. They put him on the run, and, yeah, he had opportunities to just toss it away. But big one for the NC defense.
And that was also, along with Avatar Connor, was Chris Benjamin. So it's now 3rd and goal from the 9. Walker stepping up and firing, dropped in the end zone. Looked like he had a man there. Turner Berry was in decent position, but the coverage was also solid for North Central. So it's 4th and goal. It did hit him on the hands a little bit, but Andrew Veach was with him. So it's 4th and goal, and a field goal obviously makes it a 3-score game. So out comes Luke Marchione to try what would be, from this distance, about a 26-yard field goal. He's 3 for 3 on extra points tonight. Is he going to go 1 of 1 on field goals? Snap good, hold good, pressure off the edge, and this one is up and through. So Hamilton Southeastern gets a 26-yard field goal from Luke Marchione, and it is now 24-7 Royals, as that caps off a 9-play drive for HSE. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Shear Brothers Realty. The Shear Brothers team at United Real Estate is the only sales team that offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call for details at 317-255-7285. We're also brought to you in part by Taylor's Bar and Table, the same Taylors you've known and loved for 30 years, but now it's time for the whole family to get the experience. Serving Noblesville, Fishers, Ingalls, and Pendleton, it is your spot for great meals, friendly faces, and a place everyone can enjoy together. Taylor's Bar and Table. Well, I guess that's a little bit of a win there for North Central, Joe, to force a field goal and not give up the touchdown.
Absolutely. Under the circumstances, we'll take 3. Gives them a little bit of opportunity to get back in gear. It'll be anxious to see what the plan is here to get back into this ball game. They got demon speed on their side. Hope they get a chance to utilize it.
Total drive, 9 plays, 61 yards, 2 minutes, 22 seconds off the clock. North Central about to get the ball for the first time in the third quarter. Marchione ready to kick off, and what a weapon he is. Not every high school football team has the opportunity to have a kicker that's this reliable. He's had a few touchbacks tonight. This one, he's kicking a little bit into the wind, so unable to get as much steam on that as he would have liked. Demetrius Averett returning from the 10, and he has absolutely nowhere to go. He was totally bottled up by Tristan Christopherson, and Tristan did a great job getting down there, helped out as well by some of his friends, one of which was Tanner Rockley, a junior linebacker for the Royals.
Great coverage. There was nowhere to go. He started to run toward where he thought the seam was going to be and busted it off. That is such a great indicator of the strength of the football team is on your kickoff team. To me, that's they set the tone in so many ways. Usually they're your most lethal type players. They certainly showed it right there. Big drive for the Panthers.
They spotted at the 19, so Panthers need to go 81 yards for a touchdown. Grove firing outside wide of the mark. Tried to get it to Javen Brooks, who already has 3 catches tonight, one of which was for a touchdown, but miscommunication between the two of them there.
Can't afford that. Can't afford that. Second and long right now, down in deep in your own territory.
It's 2nd and 10. In the game, it's Jawan Waddell going wide to the left in the slot. Near him, Demetrius Averett, the running back Zion Murphy. And Javen Brooks is wide to the right. The handoff to Murphy. He's got a seam. He's got the first down. Certainly able to use the running game. There's time to do it. Actually, that's Averett who got the carry. Averett to the 31. He gets 12.
Well blocked on the corner. They just sealed that off so well. Hit the seam with great speed. Signs of life.
Now can North Central build on it? Averett telling his team, let's go. And Averett gets the carry again, trying the opposite side, and a flag comes down. Kyle Jenkins tackles him. Jenkins has been good in pursuit several times for HSC tonight. And yet again, holding penalty on the Panthers, and that's going to back them up.
That guy has killed more drives tonight. I don't know his name and a number, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But they sealed that corner pretty well. You have to believe somebody grabbed somebody. But perfect call. Got the outside zone with a pressure coming up the middle. Had to come back. One of those tough things that's very, very difficult. The number of holding calls we've had in this game to overcome. They're just like turnovers in many cases.
I'm counting that. I think that's their 5th holding penalty. And that throw is to the outside. It's incomplete. Wouldn't have gone for much of a gain anyway, as Connor Gorman was pursuing that one well defensively, knocking the ball out of the receiver's hands. And now it is 2nd down and forever.
The defensive plan ever since the start of the second quarter from HSC has been bring the heat and bring it up the middle and make the quarterback make quick decisions. And you can see what that's doing. That's forcing him to throw that ball high, which is uncharacteristic for him, but it's a good plan by the defense.
Demetrius Averett was the one who was the intended target there. 2nd down and 20. Snap to Grove. Pressure coming, setting up a screen, and he throws it into the flat, incomplete. Not exactly sure who he was trying to throw it to. I think he might have just been trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think they had the right idea. With the amount of pressure you're seeing, the right idea is to screen them, to slow them down. But the HSE defense has certainly gained control, and no answers to this point from North Central. Their answer in most cases is to hit a big play.
Now Zion Murphy's the running back. Chase Grove trying to get something out of it. 3rd down and long. Bobbles it, fires, cross the middle, catch made. And not enough for the first down, but at least good for them to get past some of that. Jeremiah Gillespie, who is listed as a as a quarterback on the roster, but he comes up and makes that for a 30 to the 36-yard line. That they needed 20, they got 15. He was taken down by Zachary Christopherson, also helped out as well by Adam Hoog, and now they got to punt this one away.
And that's as good as we've seen where they're up front, stopping that pressure. He had time to get rid of that ball with a quick delivery, but a little bit short.
So
penalties.
Now Hamilton Southeastern is using their first time out of the second half. Never know, this might be an area where we could see a fake punt on 4th down, especially with North Central down by 17. Tonight's game brought to you in part by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. We're also brought to you in part by the IndyCard Exchange. They'll make you a competitive offer on vintage and modern sports cards and Pokemon cards as well. And the IndyCard Exchange now offers in-person grading services at their 96th Street location just west of I-69. Plus, you can sign your kids up for the free IndyCard Exchange Kids Club if they're 13 or younger. Find out more when you log on to IndyCardExchange.com. So, Caleb Foles about to punt this one away. And back deep to receive for HSE is Connor Hobick, a 6-foot, 170-pound wide receiver who is a junior. Snap is good. Gets his right leg into it. And the Panthers get the roll they need on it. Down to the 17-yard line. And that is where HSE will take over. So once again, Joe, this North Central defense will have to hold here.
They will, and it's a tough, other than that slapping the ball free on the goal line, that's been the only turnover opportunity. This is not a team, HSC is not a team that's prone to the turnover, but that's what you got to be thinking here on that Panther defense. Make something happen, force the momentum change, and do something to disrupt these long drives that they've been so famous for in this first 3 quarters.
Well, that was a 47-yard punt, no return. Terry Walker back in at quarterback. Takes the snap, and he fires out in the flat. Caught for a nice gain, too, as he runs out there. Well done there by Turner Berry with his 4th reception of the night.
Doing a nice job of moving that ball around. Got into the corner. They understand that wearing down that defensive line by making them run sideline to sideline has been effective, and now they get them running sideline to sideline, then run that football right at them, and it's been a good menu thus far.
Jaden Wakefield, the man who finally got over there, but it's an 11-yard gain and a first down. Back to the ground game for the Royals. This time not much doing there. I will say this for North Central, as Drake Satterfield gets the carry. The North Central run defense has not been bad. It's the pass defense that's had trouble, but you are playing a D1 quarterback, so that's certainly understandable.
Yeah, and when they could get penetration, they're as good as anybody up front. But when they play a safe 3-man front, they're getting blocked. And so they need to continue to heat it up, find ways to get penetration and get in that backfield.
2nd down and about 7. Walker fires it out left to Berry. Berry's got blocking. Now he doesn't. Look like he had room, and he's taken down at the 33-yard line. What a pursuit play that was by Jamison Hiddle.
Excellent job of filling where needed. It did look like he was going to get the corner there initially, And the safety comes out of anywhere and puts a big hay hook on him.
That's only a gain of 2 on that reception. What a football name that is, Jamison Hiddle.
And that was a beautiful play for a safety to see him come up and make a hit like that. That's exciting.
With a last name like that, you know he's capable of making big hits. Walker on 3rd down. Back
Here
to
he
the
goes
ground
again.
game. They had it, looked like they were in position. It might be a first down. It depends on the spot. You've got 2 referees that are in the area. They just talked it over. They waved the chains forward. First down, Royals.
Yeah, we had another opportunity there where Hiddle was on the prowl and kind of took a wrong inside route and bounced it to the outside. Good cut by the back. This is 2 very talented football teams at their best.
Now the question is, how much is Terry Walker going to be throwing and moving with his legs or relying on the ground game? Certainly multiple backs are capable of doing it, and here's one of them right here in Satterfield, but he has nowhere to go again. This time it's Avier Walker who hits him. 41-yard line is where they spot it, so that's a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Nice job of sticking in there, filling, putting the shoulder in, perfect form tackle, running the feet. Nice job. They're doing a nice job. You can't get defensive dominance overnight. It takes a while to develop, and I like what they're doing with that Panther defensive staff.
All right, 2nd down and about 7 again. Walker, blitz coming. He gets out of it, tries to scramble, and just goes down. Realized he really had nowhere to run, so he dives at the 42 for only a gain of a yard. That sets up 3rd and 6. Good pursuit by the Panthers.
Big down here, get a stop, get the punt, and get something going with your offense.
Panther Nation, a lot of them dressed up as Cowboys tonight. A lot of people dressed up in Cowboy-type gear, hats. It's a Western theme evening. And they're all trying to stamp their feet and make some big noise here on 3rd down. So their offense can get the ball back. Walker firing, might have a man, overshot him. He was looking for Kendrick Pennybaker, who's made a lot of plays like that during his 4-year career at Hamilton Southeastern, but Walker overshot him just a touch.
Brought some heat up the middle, put the pressure. Walker had to throw that thing to get rid of it. Just out of reach, and that's a good thing.
Good pursuit, too, by Chris Benjamin. Benjamin was the man who came up and brought some heat. And this is the first time that Hamilton Southeastern has had to punt tonight. It's Alexander Jenkins, 6-foot, 220-pounder, who's ready to punt this one away. I would imagine that it would be one of the Averett boys back there to receive this.
It certainly is.
It's Demetrius Averett standing back at his own 25. So neither team's able to get something going there. They've exchanged punts, and Averett fields it at the 24. He gets to the outside. Averett slung down out of bounds.
And maybe
at the
15.
Well, the North Central fans certainly want one. They don't get a flag here. So that's a 7-yard return for Averett. But even though HSE came up empty on that drive, they did use nearly 4 minutes of clock. And that gives North Central the ball back.
I'd like to see the mom and dad of these Averetts. There had to be some track speed in that house. These young men can fly.
That was a 34-yard punt by Jenkins, and then the 7-yard return. The snap.
The middle heat.
Grove had his man, and that's – they just look a little – like the ideas are right. They just look a little out of sync, Joe.
Brought the heat up the middle. It was the perfect call. I'm not sure if the route was off or the throw, but that's what they're going to have to do, or they're going to continue to get a steady diet of linebackers up in your face.
Panthers trying to settle down. They surrendered a 26-yard field goal here in the third quarter, down by 14 at half. The game was tied at 7 early. And this time Murphy nowhere. A lot of times when Murphy gets to the middle of the field, good things happen, but not that time.
Yeah, they continue. The Royals are continuing to bring the heat. It's tough to gap block pressure like that, and usually they're able to block down and pop that, and did not happen this time.
Christopher Mallett was one of the first men there, and he was helped out as well by Dryden Moore. Tuajon Averett's in the game. He's in the slot. Brooks, one of the wide receivers. Gillespie as well. Grove with the man in motion. That's Averett. What do we have?
Another 5.
Yep, HSC seems to be thinking it's on North Central, and the Panthers' body language seems to indicate that that is correct, and it is. A false start. That backs them up another 5.
And that is sharp this week. More penalties, more mistakes with routes. But the competition has certainly stiffened from week 1 to week 2.
Well, whoever's got the horn down there, he's really making use out of it.
He's trying to get a little momentum.
Grove bobbles it, just keeps it, runs, and doesn't get very much. Got some of the penalty yardage back. In fact, he got the 5 yards back that they lost.
He wanted so bad to throw that post, but it was very smart. He had coverage on top and coverage on the inside. There was nothing doing there. Too bad. That drive was very, very important.
And instead, on a drive when the Panthers needed to move and get a touchdown to get within 2 scores, instead they trail by 3 scores, and Caleb Foles has to punt it away. And Connor Hobick is back waiting for it at around his own 27-yard line. Foles gets it away. It's not a great punt. Bounces around the 40, but he does get a hop, and it rolls to the 24-yard line. So we've had the last few possessions since the field goal, punt, punt, punt from both sides. On the basketball court, Travis Carroll was an Indiana All-Star, and now he's an All-Star in the field of real estate. Wherever you may be located in the Indy area, you can count on RE/MAX Centerstone and Travis Carroll. Reach out for your complimentary market assessment on your home today, 317-966-7388. That's 317-966-7388. Well, HSC has had some opportunities here to extend their lead, haven't quite been able to take advantage of it. Now they have an ample opportunity here. This time they start from the 24, and Walker going deep, and he's got a man wide open. And the catch is made. Walk-in touchdown, Kendrick Pennybaker. Wow, 76 yards.
And that's a backbreaker, and I have no idea what the read was in the secondary. We had 2 safeties deep, and they both bit on shorter routes and allowed the deep post to get over the top, untouched. No, you can't help a team like HSE out by giving them a big play. But certainly a good job by the QB, airing that out.
So every touchdown in this game was a running touchdown. 2 by Reed, 1 by Tayshawn Sanders, and now Walker with the touchdown pass. Walker caught a touchdown pass last week. And the extra point from Marchione, right on the money. 31-7, Hamilton Southeastern, and Pennybaker had 65 yards receiving in the entire game last week against Carroll. On that one play alone, he got 76. So 76 plus the other 59 he has tonight. So he's now got 3 catches for 135 yards in this game with that touchdown.
And that's the thing about being a defensive back. You make a mistake up front and nobody may notice. You make a mistake in the secondary and they strike up the band.
So North Central breaks the 32-game losing streak last week. This week, Hamilton Southeastern. It's no disrespect to Brebeuf, but Brebeuf was a 4A school. Hamilton Southeastern is in 6A. They've been a formidable foe. for North Central, especially the last few years. Last year they beat them 49-26. HSE was keeping it competitive early. This was a 7-7 tie, but now the Royals have scored 24 unanswered.
And North Central has done just enough on just about every drive to stumble. And you can't, first of all, you can't do that against a good football team. And now you're trying to, you need to make that offense make some mistakes. And Hamilton Southeastern, again, is just not the team that's going to shoot their own self in the foot.
Luke Marchione with the kickoff. It's into the wind, so it's playable for Averett at about the 15. Averett, nice stiff arm, but goes down at the 34. And he is tackled on that run by Tanner Rocky. But it's a decent return at least, though, there for Demetrius Averett. Return game's not been bad.
No, those guys are dangerous. And they'll make you get up on your feet every time they touch the football. And that's going to pay off. That's going to pay off for them. Great speed, great effort, and good instincts on a number of North Central offensive threats.
This is the third drive of the third quarter for the Panthers. The previous two have ended in punts. Grove from the gun. Chase Grove with pressure coming, dumps it off to Averett rather, and Averett is bumped out of bounds at about the 46. So that's the first down we have seen from the Panthers in a while, and it comes at a critical time.
A little flex after the contact there, Averett. Again, bringing the heat up the middle. North Central's doing the best they can to get rid of it quickly, and you're just hoping for a missed tackle and a long touchdown.
Zachary Christopherson, the one who made the tackle. And Grove going down the middle. He's hit a big play before, but couldn't get it to Gillespie this time. And you hope Gillespie's okay. Good sportsmanship by Hamilton Southeastern to help him up. The man who did that was Connor Gorman. So that's always good to see that. 2nd and 10.
Nice effort. Good idea on a first down to try to catch him sleeping down the middle. They're going to need some lightning in a bottle by some quick, big play touchdowns to get back in this game, and they're doing all they can to make that happen.
But then the problem is sometimes you want to do that, and then you force things, and that's when turnovers happen.
Exactly. But they're rolling the dice right now at 31-7.
Grove avoiding pressure, might have a man here. Tried to get it to Brooks, but over his reach. The way the Royals are bringing pressure has been exotic. They're not doing it the same way every time. They're doing different things to try to rattle the cage of the Panthers, and it's working.
And they are relentless in their thoughts on making pressure. That's just such a tough throw. Right hash to the left sideline is a very tough throw, especially when he is under pressure. I like the ideas. They're taking shots. They're doing all they can to make a big play to get back in this game, maybe onside kick and create some avalanche of action.
To John Averett, the running back this time. Grove hit, and down he goes. Did he hang on to the ball? Yes, he did. But the man who got there for HSE, Andrew Babb, coming off the edge. What a job he did to get that sack.
They're dialing up everything they've got in the defensive playbook. And I guess that's what we're going to see now with the 10th grade quarterback, are people coming after him. Probably have to develop some maximum protection opportunities up front and try to get the ball to one of those speedsters.
We're coming up on a minute left in the third. It's been all HSE here in this third quarter. 1 first down for that drive for the Panthers. Now they have to punt it away. Foles booms it. Gets the bounce. He's gotten some favorable bounces on the punts, and he gets another one here. And it rolls down to the 12-yard line. So that is what amounts to be a 46-yard punt, no return. But the bigger problem for the Panthers is that they now trail by 24 points with 56 seconds left in the third quarter. Schedule for North Central, Warren Central next week at Warren. Then after that, they're home to play Lawrence North and then home against Harrison. So then after Warren Central on the 5th of September, they don't play on the road again until September 26th. Walker takes the snap, rolling. He fires down the field, might have a man again. Right idea. Had Pennybaker before. If they're not careful, this Panther defense, Pennybaker might have over 200 yards receiving by the end of the night.
They're leaving that poor safety on an island against a kind of a physical mismatch. He's a lot taller, and when you have no other help, no free safety in the middle of the field, that's a tough lot of field to cover on the deep post.
Sincere Gilbreath was the man guarding him. Got a break there. Stops the clock at 48 seconds. And then the handoff this time, it is Tayshawn Sanders. And Sanders has a seam. Sanders with a big run and finally chased down in North Central territory by Jamison Hiddle. But he got to the 49-yard line.
Well, in their attempt to get pressure and try to create and reverse some momentum, they are losing some of the fundamentals, and you saw that right there. Big cutback play. Thankfully, they had the good angles to stop that from becoming a touchdown, but they're gambling, they're risking things to try to make something happen, and HSC is just too good to be able to let that go astray.
39 yards on that run. Now they go to Drake Satterfield. Satterfield cutting back in. And you can just tell that North Central defense is so tired. They've been on the field the bulk of the third quarter so far. And Satterfield gets to the 36-yard line. That is a pickup of 13 and a chain mover. That might be the final play of the third quarter. Looking around, I don't think HSC is in any hurry to run a play. They will not. Third quarter is over. It is now all Royals as they lead North Central 31-7. The fourth quarter comes your way next on the ISC Sports Network.
Trine University, we are thunderous. But how do we get that way? One rumble at a time. Every challenge faced, every insight earned, every setback surmounted puts you on the path to exceed all expectations, yours included. It's why Trine graduates have an over 99% employment rate and make noise in whatever field we choose. What kind of noise, you ask? Here's a hint. Hear more at trine.edu.
Countdown 3, 2, 1.
And we go the other direction as the teams change sides here. Carter Reed gets the carry on a first down run to the 32-yard line. A gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Again, with that 24-point lead, it'd be shocking to see Hamilton Southeastern try to throw the football here, although they have had huge plays in the passing game at times. Terry Walker, the Duke commit, managing things well at quarterback. Carter Reed, Tayshawn Sanders, and then, of course, Drake Satterfield. Those three guys have been running the football very well for the Royals, and this time it's Reed again. Reed's already got 2 touchdown runs on the night. He could have a third one if the Panthers aren't careful as he motors his way to the 23-yard line. He picks up 9, and that's a first down.
Well, that's just a very good trademark of an established, traditionally good football team. Get the lead, take some risks early, and now when it's in the fourth quarter, you're just relying on an offensive line to pound away, and you got some good backs that are running hard and just keep that clock rolling.
Sanders the carry. Sanders trying to cut back. That time nowhere to go. So the two guys there for North Central. Travis Darden, sophomore defensive lineman, helped out as well by Colton Avatar Connor. And they say no gain. So spot it right at the 23, 2nd and 10. We've mentioned what North Central's got coming up. HSC, they are back home against Avon next week. Then they go to Fishers. Fishers having a showdown with Carmel tonight, a big matchup in 6A. And then after that, home against Westfield, and they go to Zionsville to close out September. Walker fakes it, steps up, and down he goes. So that time the pursuit was great. Anton Ennis was in there on the stop. He's number 99 on your screen. Jacob Hudson in pursuit as well. So the North Central defensive front doing a solid job there. No gain. So Walker was able to evade a sack. And now it's 3rd down and 10. I think Walker just sat there and tried to say, you know what, let's not force anything. I'm not going to try to throw it down the field and risk an incomplete pass to stop the clock. I'm going to just take what I can get and keep the clock moving. Play clock is down to 5. Got to hurry here. 2 and 1. Walker, did he get it off in time? No, I don't think he did. So delay a game on HSC.
Yeah, that's your fault, QB. Don't look around. The clock's right in front of you.
I mean, you kind of knew when they were just getting into the formation.
And he was still messing around with it.
So that drops him back to the 28, 3rd and 15. It's not as much about the down and distance at this point. It's about the clock and getting out of here with the win, going to 2-0. That's the goal for Hamilton Southeastern.
Got that big one going down, and
that throw incomplete. Now it's 4th down.
Brownsburg up 29-0 on Cathedral.
Wow. Yeah, Brownsburg was the consensus #1 team in 6A, and they have done nothing but show exactly why they should be that in these first couple of weeks. Now, from this distance, it would be a 46-yard field goal, but they're bringing on Marchione to try it. Wow. Or at least, I saw him out there. Yep,
yeah,
he is out there. And Kyan Kelly, who is the backup quarterback and also a defensive back, is the holder. So this is a pretty long field goal try. But this is also getting you ready for the later games when you've got big 6A games coming up. Can your field goal kicker make one from this distance? The kick on its way, and he missed it. A little bit wide to the right. I don't know that it had enough distance on it either, but hey, why not try it? Give it a shot.
Yeah, that's going to be fun when they match up with Brownsburg later on in the year. I think this is a pretty good team that we're seeing here.
And that is, to Joe's point, that is not until October 17th, the very last game of the season at Brownsburg. And also, too, North Central has shown that they're better. They won their first game of the season last week, and then they were right there. This was a 7-7 game in the first quarter, but HSC took the lead, and they've held on to it ever since. And North Central has it from their own 20. 9:14 left in the game, and an incomplete pass. What do you think? What's your evaluation on Chase Grove here, Joe? Because he looks a little bit rushed. It looks like he's just out of rhythm.
Yeah, I think that he took a couple hits early on, and I think that's been a factor. He's just not his first quarter he played well poised. I think he did get rattled, and it's just been a tough day. they have found the formula, probably how he's going to be defended the rest of the year, and that's bringing heat at him right up the middle and forcing him to get rid of that ball quickly.
That's Cade Alexander, one of the offensive linemen, one of the linemen for North Central. Plays on the offense and defensive line, so you hope he is okay. While we have a moment, we'll let you know that tonight's game brought to you in part by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA.
Yeah, that's going to be tough for him the rest of the year now that when this film gets around and the kind of pressure that they can put on him and change the whole offensive attack, that's going to be tough. So they could develop some things offensively to take advantage of that, and I'm sure they will.
I'm not quite sure who that is for North Central because they say he's wearing number 76. Okay, that's Jonathan Besvernew. Thought it might be someone else, but it's Jonathan Besvernew. Wasn't listed on the active roster last week, but is listed on it this week. So, hope Jonathan's okay. Grove firing, catch made. But after he made the catch, tried to go backwards to go forwards, didn't work out so well. Antonio Woodson was the man who caught it. And it's 3rd down and about 8 after that 2-yard completion. Pretty soon we'll name our big dog of the game. Key 3rd down for North Central. Got to have it with time winding down. Great thing for them is they only have 4 road games this year. One of them's next week, and then another 3 more at home. And then Grove gets hit as he throws. Catch nearly made, though. He nearly had a completion despite getting rattled. And now Grove might be down, and he gets back up. Boy, he is tough. He has taken quite a few hits tonight, and he has popped up after every one of them. But he's late. This is the one he looks like he's under the most duress from. Nice blitz there by IHSAA, had him totally confused. It's Matthew Ruiz, 6'2", 205-pound linebacker who's a senior, who got free and got the shot in on Grove.
And I think that in the big-time wrestling scene is called a souffle. They put him down hard, and that's something to see that he just popped up and waved off the substitute coming in and said, let me stay out here with my boys.
And that is a break, a big break for North Central because Ruiz just got called for roughing the passer. So what looked like North Central about to punt the ball away to the Royals, 15-yard penalty, and they get a 1st down out to the 37-yard line. And Grove saying, let's go. I want to get a touchdown drive out of this. Murphy gets the carry. Murphy down the sideline. And Murphy carrying his defender, Connor Gorman, with him. But Zion Murphy, he had a couple huge runs last week against Brebeuf, has struggled to get on track right night. That was his longest run of the evening.
They certainly have some tools. And as this team matures, as they get their offensive line settled in, they're going to be able to put points against the best of them because they do have the tools. And they just ran into a tough one tonight and penalized themselves and miscued themselves out of a couple drives, and that's been the difference.
That's a 26-yard run by Murphy. Throw. This time the catch is made by Waddell. And Waddell pursuit was great by Hamilton Southeastern. Blake Babb has been a lot of places tonight, and he's been in position. He's been in position again.
Lots of offensive weapons. They're going to have to learn how to play versus the blitz because there's going to be a lot of pressure on them. But they do have some game breakers that'll force teams, if they're able to effectively execute, force teams to go away from that blitz, and that's going to have to be something Coach Kofer works on next week and the following months.
Javen Brooks is the receiver wide to the outside. Grove pumps. Ruiz hits him again, and I think that might have been picked. They say it was. Ruiz puts pressure on Grove, and it's intercepted by Andrew Babb. Wow. There's that pressure again by Hamilton Southeastern, and both times that Grove has thrown picks, it's been with pressure in his face.
And I'm sure that he would like that one back. He just kind of lost sight of where he was. He knew there was no chance of a completion, and instead of just throwing it out of bounds, he put it up into a dangerous territory. He'll learn from that play. That not a good quarterback play there, but he will learn from that. You can tell by the frustration that he is showing right now that that's out of character and, again, a teachable moment for a young quarterback.
Hamilton Southeastern gets it from the 30. Walker fakes, rolling and firing, and the catch is made. He's inbound still, so play continues. And it is Colin Walls, the senior tight end, big target, able to make the catch. And there's some extracurricular activity going on after the play. Again, frustration setting in for North Central. They spot him at the 42. It's again at 12.
Both these teams are well coached. There won't be any extracurriculars. That was just a loss of temper.
Credit to the officials as well for not letting the situation get out of control. Walker with the handoff to Sanders. And Tayshawn Sanders looked like he was going to get stymied at the line of scrimmage, but spun his way forward. And they're giving him the 46-yard line, so that's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Upcoming, two guys there, Zabari Green along with Emmanuel O'Heen Dwumfor.
I think he took a hit from everybody on that defense. He kept on going. That's a tough young man right there.
Hamilton Southeastern led 21-7 at the half. They've outscored North Central 10-0 in the second half. And here is the handoff, this time to Sanders. A flag comes down. I think we might be having this one come back.
Yeah, that's a clip or a block in the back. They secured the edge there with a little block in the back.
Fifth penalty of the night on the Royals. And that, that's one thing that if you are head coach Michael Kelly for Hamilton Southeastern, you're happy about in the sense that you're close to going to 2-0, but you've also got a lot of things that you can work on too.
Absolutely. There are some things that you don't see very often from an HSE team that's taken place tonight. But, these are all things that need to be coached. It's early on, but he's got a nice looking team, top to bottom.
Walker, the snap, pocket clean. He's got a man open. I don't think he sees him though. Just takes off and runs out of bounds, which is probably what you don't want if you're the coaching staff, as you stop the clock. 45-yard line.
He has continually shown very good athleticism.
Oh, yeah.
On that particular play, he showed a nice burst of speed that we haven't seen. But he's the whole package.
He got 8 yards on that scramble, and he is going to be a heck of a weapon next year for the Duke Blue Devils.
If he stays with it. Because as every game he plays, his price tag is going up.
Walker firing, and the catch is made, but did he get in bounds? They say no. At least I saw. Yep, they signal incomplete.
Yeah, he looks like a very. I'm wondering if the Indiana Big Teners went after him because he's capable.
4th down and 7, so on to punt it away, Alexander Jenkins. Coach Kelly said that Alexander Jenkins is getting some looks. Booms that one away. Averett calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 18-yard line. So that's a 37-yard punt, no return, pins him inside the 20. Big Dog of the Game brought to you by LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. Tonight's Big Dog will be named in a moment, just like the offensive and defensive linemen. The Big Dogs of Sewers and Drains do the dirty work in the trenches, and at LD Smith Plumbing and Drains, we know a thing or two about getting dirty and keeping things flowing. Hats off to tonight's Big Dog for leading the charge. Who's your Big Dog of the Game, Joe?
Right here, big number 67, Sammy Boy.
Uh-huh.
And he has just played so well, and he has had to with the amount of pressure that's coming up the middles. 6'2", 275-pound senior who's going to continue to get better and better and better. Number 67, Big Dog of the Game.
And he is the right guard on offense. The throw, drop. And that, it's been strange to see Javen Brooks struggle so much in the second half because he had such a great first half, including what was a touchdown pass. The only touchdown of the game was the 29-yarder from Brooks that Brooks caught from Grove. And now we have a new quarterback in the game for North Central. The new quarterback for North Central is Cole Kreinhagen. And Kreinhagen was a guy that was considered a candidate for the job in the offseason. Flag comes in at the end of this play. We might be seeing, and I don't know who it's on. Must have been something that somebody said, because I didn't see a ton of contact, but sometimes language can be a factor. Jalen Amos, the backup running back, the man who got the carry there. So it looks like Coach Colin Kofer for North Central has elected to put in some of the reserves. And that's a big penalty that backs him up half the distance to the 10-yard line. And that is third down now. It's third and about 20. Yep, all reserves in the game, it looks like. Antonio Woodson in there. Kreinhagen at quarterback, or is Grove back out there? Might be Grove. Nope, Kreinhagen's in there. He takes the snap. He's got pressure coming and the dump off. That's Amos again. And Amos has nowhere to go after getting some of that lost yardage back. Hamilton Southeastern has read the screenplay really well tonight.
They do a nice job. I'm anxious to see that on film, how they can continue to get pressure but still man up that screen guy, because they've done a nice job. That's a good defensive package they have going. They like the pressure. They went to it and stayed with it.
3 and out for North Central. They got to punt it here. Low snap to Foles, and he
kept his knee off the ground.
Yep. But that was a We're brought to you in part tonight by the College Prospects of America. The CPOA team knows college recruiting and is available 24/7 to provide solutions that serve you. They are your total advocate. The CPOA team will work tirelessly to provide counsel and assess and seek answers for you and your family, from our first phone call through your college graduation and everything in between. Email Joe Polizzi at cpoateam@gmail.com for more information. Joe, I imagine you're pretty busy this time of year with that.
I love it. It's a great service, and the thing that I like to point out is that it's not just for football. It's all sports, men and women, and we are excellent at locating places for young people to go and continue their athletic and academic careers.
Deacon Johnson is the new quarterback in the game for Hamilton Southeastern. So Terry Walker's night has come to an end. Reserves entering the game for Hamilton Southeastern, one of which is Jack Jacobs. Second down and long after that. And the running back is also Trent Dorman. And throw and the catch made that time by Andre Golston. So this is a great opportunity for Hamilton Southeastern, allowing their freshman quarterback to get some key moments late in the game as they are on the doorstep of going to 2-0 on the season. And North Central about to drop to 1-1 with a large matchup looming. Their first conference game next week against Warren Central. And Johnson firing, might have a man down the sideline, but the coverage was good. So he tried to get it to Turner Berry. Berry's been a factor tonight. The coverage, though, solid by the North Central Panthers. Braylon Stallings with the coverage. Stops the clock at 2:48. And it's fourth down, so Hamilton Southeastern on to punt it away. Alexander Jenkins back to punt this one. And still have Demetrius Averett ready to return this one. Jenkins sends it high in the air, and Averett fair catches it at the 4. So not an ideal place to have to fair catch it, but that's what he felt was best. I don't know that Coach Kofer will love that.
No, generally you put your heels on that. Certainly it used to be the 10, now it's the 5 because punters are so good at placing it. But, yeah, you don't want to let that happen.
Well,
at all.
Colin Kofer's got a lot to work with on his team this week. It's just so interesting how a game can be shaped by just one or two miscues. And North Central had a few in the first half where Chase Grove got hit as he threw. There was an interception. The punter accidentally taking a knee when he was punting it away, so that means he's down. Kreinhagen is back in at quarterback. So both teams on backup QBs. The carry by Amos. And Amos is able to fight his way forward to the 6 for a gain of 2. Second down and 8 upcoming.
And this is a good example of an established traditional program versus an upstart. It's going to take Coach Kofer a couple years in the weight room and getting those guys strong and tough and mature and confident. They have a good football team, and they have talent that can hurt you. But when you're stacking up against the state's best week after week after week, then these guys have been in the weight room for 8 years. It's a difference. It's going to take a while.
Heck of a tackle there made by Dryden Moore. Losing a yard there. Good sportsmanship again by HSC. Someone lost a mouthpiece, so Moore was able to pick it up and give it back to the man who did lose one. That was Noah Covington. And we're down to 90 seconds left in the game. An impressive showing by Hamilton Southeastern, a game that you had a feeling would be a sort of a grinded-out contest just because of the way HSC won last week's game over Carroll, the way they could run the ball, the way they play defense. But could they contain the skill players of North Central? Early on, that looked questionable. This game was tied at 7. Some big plays were made in the passing game by North Central's offense. But in the end, Hamilton Southeastern made enough adjustments, and they were able to get it done. And they got to punt it away here on 4th down. Don't forget, on the basketball court, Travis Carroll was an Indiana All-Star, and now he is an All-Star in the field of real estate. Wherever you may be located in the Indy area, you can count on RE/MAX Centerstone and Travis Carroll. Reach out for your complimentary market assessment on your home today, 317-966-7388. That's 317-966-7388. 888-738-7388. Punt return there by Connor Hobick. And really, all HSC needs to do here is take one kneel down, and they can end it.
Yes, sir. They've played well. They took control of the game. They made the moves defensively, as you were alluding to, by putting pressure on that young quarterback, making him fret for his life. He took some hellacious hits. Super job coaching by the HSE staff. North Central will certainly learn quite a bit about their team after going through this film and seeing how they recover throughout the next week of practice as they go into a equally as dangerous Warren Central team.
North Central electing to use a timeout here. And the other thing is, too, another question mark will be, and we'll talk to Coach Kofer during the week as we have the first 2 weeks, see what the status is of Chase Grove. You hope he's okay. Not that Cole Kreinhagen can't be a viable backup, but you hope that he is all right, just because, like you said, he took some hits that it took him a little bit of help to try to get up. He needed some help from his teammates, and so we'll see if he is able to go next week.
Yeah, he has shown some grit, and I hate to break it to him, but that's the way it's going to go this year. Mm-hmm. They're going to heat him up, and he's going to have to get some things done to get rid of that football quicker.
Ground game. It is Trent Dorman getting the carry this time. And Dorman to the 33. I don't think they need to run another play if they don't want to. We're down to 10 seconds. And they do not. So the Hamilton Southeastern Royals come in and make a statement. They score 24 unanswered points. They stymie North Central's offense after the game was tied early at 7. And the Royals are now 2-0 on the year with wins over Carroll and now North Central. And the Panthers of North Central drop to 1-1, and they will try to regroup as they get ready for a conference battle next week against the Warren Central Warriors. Back with final thoughts in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first start learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Celebration is on for the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. They pitch a shutout in the second half. They did not allow a point, and it was 21-7 at halftime. They grinded out this one, and it's interesting because they have only allowed 7 points in each of their first 2 games. So, Joe, their defense and their physicality certainly making a statement.
Absolutely, and that's kind of been the trademark from what I know about that team for many years around here, is that they are physical. They rarely beat themselves. They will pound you and find things to do offensively. Give credit to North Central early on, maybe the first quarter and a half. They had the Royals on their heels, and it looked like they were going to build off of what they did last week versus Brebeuf. They kind of ran out of gas with some defensive adjustments from IHSAA, but yes, their dominance was apparent, and it just Coach Kofer, I'm sure, is telling his team right now, that's the kind of team we want to become. We got to be more physical. We got to be able to run the ball and come after people defensively. But this was a good step, and they'll learn a great deal from this game going into Warren Central.
And Coach Colin Kofer being very demonstrative with his team right now about the way they played. I know he probably feels they made too many mistakes, but even though they got their first win of the season last week, a new coach, you knew there were going to be some growing pains, but this is an opportunity for them to learn.
That's right. He's emphasizing we got to be a full year-round program in the weight room, in our conditioning, in our passion about being a great teammate. And this is a good learning experience, and it takes a while to build a program, as you well know.
It'll be North Central and Warren Central next Friday night. Joe and I will have that one for you. Big thanks to our whole crew, Charlie Hammock, Carlos Alarcon, Jacob Kripe, Anastasia Sorrell, Caleb Gross, and Anthony McDonald. Thank you to our fantastic ISC Sports Network. And for my partner, Joe Polizzi, I'm John Herrick. Let's say a big thank you to our sponsors who helped make this night possible. We were brought to you in part by the Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know. That is the Ed Martin Automotive Group. By LIUNA, the proud members of the Indiana Laborers District Council and affiliate local unions who build Indiana. We are LIUNA. By Raising Cane's. Game days are better with Cane's. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Shearer Brothers Realty, local real estate experts serving the neighborhoods around North Central and throughout Washington Township. By Taylor's Pub and Grill, come for the game and stay for the good times. And by Wabash College, schedule your visit now at wabash.edu. Your final score for the final time from Panther Stadium, Hamilton Southeastern 31, North Central 7. You've been watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
Countdown 3, 2, 1.